Hey guys, hello, I'm Jaideep here. Today I'll be talking about one very interesting topic like how should we approach the probability, how should we learn the probability, and how should we generate our intuitions for the probability, right? So, see, probability is something which is very essential in your further education, and it's something which you will enjoy yourself if you understand it from the scratch, right? So to be honest, I know the basic fundamentals, each and everything, but the other things which are Markov chains and few higher things, even I don't have rigid intuitions for that because most of the time we don't usually use it. But the basic things like your Bayes theorems or the independence formulas and all, those are the things with which you should be very clear and you should have your own logic behind them. Okay, so what I would recommend that if you have no knowledge or no intuitions of your own in the probability, then it's okay to start from the scratch. Okay, one of my friend who is doing PhD, he didn't had much of a knowledge of the probability when he was preparing for the gate, but during that time he started from the scratch, like really from the 10th standard book. But later in few months he was so expert in the probability, like we used to take advice and used to approach him whenever we used to face the doubts. Okay, so what I learned from him, I will also tell you that. So see, first of all, you might wanted to get a good source to start with, right? So I have written over here a few sources which I found personally very useful. The book is named Sheldon Ross. It's very famous book for the probability. You can definitely go with it. But remember, just you need to prepare the first two chapters if you are preparing for the gate, right? And this is the second resource, which is the Harvard Statistics 110 probability course. It's very brilliant course for the probability, and here the teacher himself will tell you a lots of intuitions on how to approach the things. Okay, now, what usually I found is that in order to improve the probability, first we should think of like what the problem wants to tell you, what it is the information that the problem is offering you, right? Even if you know many formulas, but still you need to understand what the information is given and what you need to solve for the problem, right? So, give some time to think about what the problem really wants to ask you. Okay, now the important next important thing is that we should always have some intuitions of our own. I will tell you one example after the fifth point, like how you can build your own intuitions. I will give you an example, right? So having an intuition always helps, because in that case, whenever you are implementing the formula, you know from the scratch the very reason why you are implementing this formula, right? So it becomes very essential to have a clear understanding, so that you won't make mistake in applying the formula, like you won't apply a wrong formula or you won't use the wrong inputs in the formula. Okay, also the very one most important thing is that keep track of your own intuitions and the problems where you discovered new things by yourself, or where the problem teach you some new things, some new concepts. Like it may be any source like the Stack Overflow, or it could be any source, no issues. It might be your friend, but keep track of that, because whenever you want to see what your intuitions are, what you have learned, what your understanding is, it's very good to go through those, right? So let me tell you the one of the example of a intuition, how you can see the things. Okay, so we all know the uh, independent events, right? So how we see in book how those are defined are, if the probability of a given b is equals to probability of a, then we say that a and b are independent, right? Now this is good for the theorem and problem solving, but how you can understand this, it's like this. See, this is my sample space. This is also one of a very nice intuition thing, to imagine your sample space as a square box. Okay, and its area, assume that it's one. Okay, the whole area is one, it's a one by one box. You can think like that. Now See, when I'm saying that something is independent, so what does it mean is that, let's say this is my event A, okay, this is my event A occurring over here. It has probability 50%, right? And this is my another event, which is event B, okay. This is my event B, this complete block, okay. Let me, okay, so this rigidly filled box is my box, it's my probability B, okay. Let's say it is something maybe 40%, right? In terms of percentage and in terms of probability it is zero point 0.4. This is event A with the probability 0.5, okay. Now if I am now we can see that clearly the half of the region of event B is occupied by event A, right? So if I want to check the probability of event A given that event B has occurred, so what does it tells me that I need to check the probability of A in the small box of B itself, and I know that half of the B is occupied by A while rest of the half is occupied by A complement, right? So if I'm seeing this box, I know the probability of occurrence of A given that B has already occurs is 0.5, and I also know that occurrence of probability of A is also 0.5. So right, so you can see that you now have a very good intuition like what the independent events mean. Independent events mean that even though the probability of A earlier were zero point 0.5, but when you are given that event B has already occurred, you already know that, or you derived that the probability of A in the B is again 50% itself. So whenever you say that the events are independent, it means that your probability didn't change even though you were considering the event B. Now let me tell you one very nice thing about the independent events, so this may blow your mind, okay. So here it goes, right? Whenever you say probability of A is equals to zero point 0.5, why don't you think that probability of A given sample space is zero point 0.5, right? This thing is also correct. So this is something which I came up by my own, but I think it's really nice to think probability, just a probability of simple event also in this way. So it will clear a lots of things, because see, whenever I say probability of A, we indirectly mean the same thing, right? Probability of A with respect to this sample space S, right? It is 50% over here in this sample space. So if you think in this way, whenever I will say probability of B, probability of A given B, you won't be surprised by the logic that I am considering only the B as my sub box or B as my only event right now. So these are the few things. There are multiple intuitions for the Bayes theorem also, but you should try to build your own intuitions and your own understanding, right? So that you won't be in a situation where you know all the formula but you are not sure which one to use or where to substitute the values, okay. And it's fine even if it's take time, or you can devote a daily 30 minute 40 minute, but devote that time towards the thinking and creativity, not just reading the solution, okay. So I hope this will help you. uh, it would be very nice if you subscribe, but please turn off that notification thing so that you won't get distracted. Take care of your time and take care of yourself, okay.